Hello everybody. Today we're going to take a look at the new Modeless dialogs that are in the latest Manifold Future build called 163.6. What we're looking at here is Manifold Future. You can try this in Future Viewer because Future Viewer tracks Manifold Future, so all these features are there if you have a project like this. And what we have is a project here that has one big drawing in it called Points of Interest. And if I double-click open that layer here, we can see that's what the points of interest look like. We've downloaded the points of interest layer from OpenStreetMap. So these are lots of points that are restaurants, pubs, and those sorts of things. And here we see it open in a map, and here next to it we see that same drawing open in the table, the points of interest table. And we can see it has a bunch of fields, but these are the ones that we want to work with here. To zoom in a little bit further to make the map look less cluttered, we can also I'm right-clicking and dragging to zoom in. And let's also turn on the Canvas World Dark Gray layer, which provides an image server, web server background that is not quite as busy as the Microsoft Bing background. Great. So let's select all the points of interest which are a pub. So I'm going to right-click here, choose Copy, so I now have the value pub on the clipboard. And here in the Contents pane, I'll click the new Select panel. A modeless panel or modeless pane like this one means it doesn't grab the user mode, it doesn't grab the mouse. A regular dialog, like the old Select dialog used to be, you come here to Menu, you click Edit, Select, and that would be a dialog. You did what you wanted to do, and then you click either OK or Cancel, whatever. But until you clicked OK or Cancel, you were captured by the dialog. You couldn't go back and forth the way we're going back and forth here between the map window and the dialog. So here in the dialog, which is now always active, the pane, which is always active, let's choose this template, text contains, and we want to make that pub. And as you can see, it instantly previewed all the pubs here in blue preview color. If we want to select those, we can click one of these selection buttons, such as Replace Selection, Add Selection. Let's click Replace Selection. So now all those are selected, and as you can see, something also new here in 163.6 is everything is automatically synchronized. So if we make a selection here in the map, it's automatically synchronized in the table. That's not quite as flexible as older versions were, but it got a little bit too confusing when each window had its own separate possible selection. So the automatic synchronization is something that people wanted. That's something that we've done. So this looks wonderful. We've selected all the points that are here in the map that are pubs. Now, we selected for where text contains PUB. That also selected this record right here, where you can see where it says public building. We don't want that, so let's copy that value. And here I will go into text contains, and let's turn that to, let's put in public building. We're altering the dialog so you won't need to use single quotes. Right now it's very SQL-y, so which is, on one hand cool, on the other hand it's annoying. So this is going to change in one of the upcoming builds. And what we want to do is we want to delete all these from the selection. So what we're going to do is we're going to take everything, all the records where text contains public building for this field, and we're going to zoom down here where you cannot quite see it off screen, and it's going to be subtract from selection. Choose that. So now I'm going to subtract that from the selection. As you can see, public building has just been eliminated. Let's add one more thing. Let's say we want to add restaurants, build the selection so we have restaurants. I'll right click on those, copy, and here I will once again, text contains restaurant. And you can see that those are all the blue dots previewed, which are restaurants, and those we will add to the selection. So now we have a selection which is all pubs and all restaurants. And if we want to see these in the table, we can click View, Filter, Select it. So now it'll show just the selected records. And this table still works into Control H to the top, Control N to the bottom, and so forth. Let's remove that filter. View, Filter, All, and let's see how the transform template works, which is also now modeless. It also is always on. So here, for example, we've clicked on the map, so the focus is on the map. And let's say I want to build a buffer on all these points. And I'm going to make a buffer of 100 meters radius from all those points. That's pretty cool, but we don't want all of them. We just want the ones that we've selected, so we'll restrict the selection. As you can see, right away, it makes buffers on all those that are restricted to the selection. How would I use that? Well, let's choose here where it says Add Component. So let's add a new component to the project, which is just these buffer areas. There, we've just created that, added to that component. And if we click here in the project pane, we can see that it created two new components, a drawing and the drawings table. Let's rename this, well, let's call it pubs. Now we'll drag it and drop it into the map. And you can see those are all the circles that it created. Let's style those. Let's click the Style dialog here and let's make that a nice yellow color. And so that we can see what's underneath them, let us click here on Layers and let's turn the pubs layers. So that's let's make it a 30% opaque. That's a little bit too transparent. So let's make it 40% opaque. Great. And now when we zoom in here, we can see that where all the pubs and restaurants are and everything that is within 100 meters of those pubs and restaurants. So that when we choose a hotel, we can choose one which is within 100 meters. This, by the way, is St. Catherine's Wharf right here, and here's the Tower of London, Tower Bridge. If you know London, you know where all that is located. There's a fine hotel right here that you can stay in. That's very near plenty of restaurants and pubs. So how fast is all the selection stuff? To do that, let's take a look at the, I'm going to click open a different project here, which is the famous collection of waterways in Australia that kind of made a buzz on Reddit last year. It's over 1 million objects that shows all the waterways in Australia. And what we're going to do is we're going to show how quickly the selection process works. Selection is not SQL, it's just this kind of basically kind of an interactive sort of thing that we're doing here, but nonetheless it's remarkably fast. So if here I right-click on Connector and choose Copy, and then here I will, in the Contents pane, go to Selection, and here I will choose, again, everything where text contains connector. You can see how quickly it previews where all those are located. And now when I click Replace Selection, that's about 1 million objects, over 1 million objects, almost 1.2 million objects, and bang, it selects them all that quickly. In fact, selection in Radian Manifold Future is remarkably fast. For example, if I do a Edit Select Inverse, it inverts the selection that quickly. Edit Select Inverse again, and there, and we can see it's just selected those waterways that are considered connectors. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this quick tour. There's very much more to see. We will take a look at filters in the next video. But that's enough for right now in this video. So thanks for watching, and goodbye from Manifold Futureland. Well, that was fun. If you want to see more, visit us at www.manifold.net. As always, Manifold delivers the world's most advanced, highest quality spatial products for GIS and DBMS at a low price that you can afford. Once again, that's manifold.net. See you soon.